Because it's 4 parts, should I post it? Because you know how.
Thank you for tapping like.
Yeah. Okay. I
Thank
see.
you for tapping like. I'm going to bring people up here when we get to 2K likes. We're almost there. Feel free to request to come on up. We don't allow arguing here. We just want to have a discussion. Come up and answer the question and give your point of view. That's all we're doing. We're just giving points of view.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Gothic Realm, come on up and talk to us. Let us know what y'all think in the comments.
Okay.
Oh, um, I
Gothic
don't,
Realm?
I don't have a problem with it. I fully support,
Before you start, give us your age, your race, and your pronouns, please.
white, he, him, and I'm 20 years old.
All right, talk to us.
I don't have a problem with this at all. I don't think it's wrong, but you do have people that disagree with it, either because, they just hate white people in general. And it could also be some white people that hate this too, not gonna lie. So, but I see other lives that it's some of the black creators that I pass by on other lives on TikTok, and they don't like this either because they're still stuck on the history of their ancestors, which they shouldn't be getting all mad about, because that was in the past. And also you had some white people in the past that was helping some of the black slaves, so I don't know why they were getting mad about that. But also, I think also they don't like that. It's because also they're ignorant, and yeah.
Who's ignorant?
Oh, the people that don't like this and think it's problematic
Why are they ignorant?
because why can't they date outside their race?
I don't know. I'm asking you. You said it was because they're ignorant. Why is ignorance the conclusion you came to?
because they have a problem with it. It's like, because I understand, like, yes, I understand where they're coming from. Like, oh, white supremacy, yada, yada, yada. Oh, but, like, they have to understand and come to a point where, like, I feel like they make all white people bad when not all white people are bad. And, like, if they can't see that, then it's like, then why do you see other couples that are black and white together? Like, and they don't have a problem with it. So it's like, by a problem, I mean they don't have a problem dating a white person.
Do you think that all racist people are bad?
Yeah. I mean, they're the one that's problematic. They're the one that wants conflict and don't want unification.
Would you ever date outside your race?
Yeah.
Have you dated outside your race?
Yeah.
What was the race of your significant other?
He was black, but it didn't end well because I'd rather not say why.
I would like to know why.
I mean, it was just okay because he wasn't giving me what I wanted, which was the attention.
Are you here now for attention?
Like, by that, I mean like texting and calling. And he just wasn't, I guess we both had like, different things. So,
Do you not like black people that don't give you what you want?
no, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter the person's race. It's just, I don't know, everybody has their own way of what they want. Like, yeah, I want somebody that, like gives me attention, like, like texting once in a while or at least calling. And if the person doesn't do that, then, then he's not good for you. It's the same thing. Like, okay, let's say you had a girlfriend, right? And she wasn't, giving you the attention, checking up on you or whatever, seeing how you were doing. Would you like that or you wouldn't like that?
I really wouldn't be in that scenario, but I think it's interesting that you say that black people are ignorant, and that's the reason why they wouldn't.
I never said black people were ignorant.
You
I
said
said
that,
people that think that this is a problem.
yeah, but the
And I
people you
said
were
some
talking
lives,
about were black people that host TikTok lives about this topic.
yeah, some of them, not all. There's a difference.
But
You
when
have
you
some
say,
black people that agree with me by saying, people that think this is a problem, that is problematic.
would you say those people are ignorant?
No, because
Okay.
they're right. This isn't a problem.
So how do you know you're not ignorant?
Well, it's like, how can I say, how do I know that you're not ignorant?
Because I
I mean,
read.
I'm not ignorant. It's just, I'm just trying to like, I'm just speaking out of what I have to say, what I think is right.
No, I know, but if who's ignorant and who's not is dependent on what you think is right, you don't think that's a little self-centered?
Well, I mean, I know that everybody has their own feelings on how they think of stuff, but, I
But
just
why
think,
do they have to agree with you in order to not be ignorant?
well, I mean, like, it's like the room is there if you just read it. I mean, like, if you, like, for instance, if you have a problem with something, like, would you, like, find it problematic? or we just go with it? Like,
You have
so
to.
dating outside your race, like, would you find that problematic?
Do you have to be for everything in order for it to not be ignorant? Like, do I have to just accept everything, and if I don't, I'm the problem?
No, but I'm saying, like, by problematic, I mean, like, for instance, just by hating on something just because you hate it in general, because you do have some people that hate this stuff just for spite, and that is just problematic. Do you disagree or agree?
I ask the questions here, but I think it's interesting that you said black people need to get over the past. Why do you think they should?
I never said all.
I didn't say
That's
you
what
said all, but I
you said.
repeated
Black
back what you
people.
said. That's what you said. Were you talking about white
I
people?
said some black people that have a problem with
Okay,
this.
so any black person that has a problem with this because of what happened in the past, that just hasn't let go to what's happening to this day, to be honest, it's not even the past, but let's say you think it's the past, right? So even if it was the past, why do you think they should move on?
Because what? I mean, yeah, you could still mention the past, but like you can't just like, for instance, can't use the actions of somebody's ancestors as an excuse to hate on white people.
So why should they forget the past? Has the past gone away? Has there been some change to the past? Would you tell a Holocaust survivor or a Jewish person that was child of
Well, I'm
a
Jewish.
Holocaust survivor to forget about the past?
No,
Why not?
because that was something tragic. But I'm not. But you see, here's the thing:
Mm.
Germans and Jewish people aren't hating on each other now.
Are you sure?
I'm German and
Because
Jewish in my blood.
the problem wasn't Germans and Jewish people; it was Nazis and Jewish people. I'm pretty
Okay,
sure.
well,
I'm pretty sure
you
they
don't
still
have
hate on each
Nazis
other.
now. You don't have that nowadays.
Yes, we
Like,
do. Yes, we do.
okay, well, it's not.
I've met some on TikTok, so I know that for they're in my DMs like right now. So
Okay, well,
I
where
know they
I'm
still
at.
exist.
Okay,
So
well, where I'm at in Florida, I don't see that.
oh yes, you do. The Proud Boys are all down there,
Well, I don't see it.
and they fly Nazi flags. So
Well, I don't see it, but okay. Not
yeah,
gonna
well,
argue.
I mean, just because you don't see something once again doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Like you can it just that's like someone that can't see
Well, you
past
have
their
a
nose.
point. I mean,
Yeah. So at the end of the day, would you tell a Jewish person that doesn't want to marry a neo-Nazi that they need to get over their past? Would you tell them that?
well, I don't think they would be marrying a Nazi in the first place
Why not?
because of what happened in the past.
Would you say that was ignorant if they said they didn't want to do it?
It's not ignorant. It's something that happened.
But it happened in the past. Why can't they forget about it like you said about
Oh my
black people?
God, I feel like I'm talking to a wall here.
I'm just asking questions.
Like, I really don't understand it, bro. Like, bro, what?
I feel like you do you feel backed into a corner?
No, I
Somebody
don't.
closing in on you right now?
No.
Is your small white world collapsing around you?
Oh, you see, now you're being stereotypical. Small white world. Like, what do you mean? Like, what are you trying to do, buddy? Like, huh?
Do you feel
You have
attacked?
some black people that can't use the actions of somebody's ancestors as an excuse to hate on white people today. It seems like you're mad. Seems like you hate
It's
white people.
interesting how you tell black people to forget their past, but you would never say that about a Jewish person.
Are you, bro? What? Hold on. That doesn't even make any sense, buddy. Do you hear yourself?
Y'all, am I
You
wrong?
have white
Am I
and black
wrong?
people getting along. Look at your screen.
Did we not just hear him answer that question and say
Wait,
that he wouldn't tell them that they did y'all not hear that? Did y'all not hear him? You were in the bathroom?
I'm not in the bathroom, dumbass. Sorry, it was slow.
I'm trying to go sleep. I don't want to deal with those fucking nobody.
We all heard him contradict himself, correct? Okay. I'm making sure I'm not tripping because he definitely said that black people need to forget what happened. But when I
So the
asked
people
him,
that are being problematic, do you need your ears checked?
so what makes a black person that doesn't want to be in an interracial relationship problematic?
Because they hate on white people. Point blank, period.
How do you know that?
Because of what's going on with society today.
What's going on with society today?
Bro, do you not see all this hate? Do you not watch the news?
A few minutes ago, you couldn't see past your nose. Now you're telling me
What do you
why
mean,
I don't
buddy?
watch the news. A few minutes ago, you didn't know that the Nazis still exist. Now you're telling me
Because I don't
I
see
should
that
be
part
watching the
happening in
news.
the world.
Just because you see something
Just
doesn't
because
mean
what, buddy?
just because you see something doesn't mean everybody else saw it too. You see how he keeps centering himself and this sucker follow me. Get out of
You're
here.
muting me,
And
dumbass.
this weird ass Yankee follows me too. What in the world was that? Did we learn something or nah? Did we learn something or nah? I tried to pick their brain, but it wasn't much there. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't much there, y'all. You know that. It wasn't much there. He wasn't working with much. It was like scraping the bottom of the barrel to try to get some information out of that person. But if anybody with two brain cells to rub together wants to come up here, we can talk. We can talk. I just want to ask questions. I'm not here to cause arguments. I'm just going to ask questions. I'm not sure what that was. It was very contradictory. Tage, could you give us your age, race, and pronouns, please?
Hi, it's Taj.
Taj, yeah. Could you give us your age, race, and pronouns, please?
28. I'm Ethiopian. A she.
What race of an Ethiopian are you?
Ethiopian. What do you mean, what race?
That's a nationality. That's not a race.
That's also our race and nationality.
That's not true.
Perhaps somewhere in there, a codependency.
No, Sarah, you can't prove people wrong.
Yeah, buddy. Don't.
It's the same weirdo.
How am I weird? I'm trying to prove my point. You're talking about Jewish people.
Hey, yo, this is the same weirdo. That's why he came back with a different profile. Yo, oh man, we got one, y'all. We got a live one. Hey, yo, what?
Wait, what was he saying? It's a problem or it's not a problem?
I don't know what he was saying, to be honest. He was just contradicting himself. But you got to go because you don't know your race. You can't talk You can't talk about race and you don't know what race you are.
I do know my race.
Yes, no, you don't, because you said Ethiopian.
Well, what race is in Ethiopia? Can you tell me?
I don't know. There's multiple races in Ethiopia. I'm sure there's Chinese and Asian people there. I'm sure there's black people
there is
there.
not.
I'm sure there's
No,
white
there
people.
is not.
There's no white people
No,
in
there is
Ethiopia.
not.
There's no white
No,
people
there
in
isn't.
Ethiopia. There's
No.
not one white person born in Ethiopia.
No.
You're telling me that.
No.
Get out
There
my
is
line,
not.
man. Y'all sitting here lying. Yo, what is on? Am I in the back of the bus of TikTok right now? What's happening tonight? What's happening tonight? Y'all know it don't take, like, it takes a good amount of stupid to get me pissed off. What is happening tonight? It takes a healthy portion of dumbass to get me pissed off. And y'all working my nerves right now. I don't even get mad. Can I please have an intelligent conversation with somebody?
Hello.
Hi. Hold on. Let me reset. Thank y'all for tapping like. I don't know what's going on tonight. Usually we get more like intelligent people, but okay. The clip, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
I'm 17. I'm black, and I go by she, her.
All right, talk to us.
All right, so me personally, I don't think there's a problem with it, but I think that there's a line that could be crossed because there's a lot of fetishization that goes on both sides, and as long as it's well, you can't really know if it's true love because you're not in the situation, but I feel like I feel like it's just like you should just mind your business
Oh, you're
when it
not
comes
18
to.
yet? Oh, you're not 18. You gotta go. And I ain't even mad at you, sister. I ain't even mad at you, sister. The sister that was just up here, because she didn't even sound like she was wrong. But I am not Drake. Y'all gotta be 18 to come up here. Shoot, you know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't gonna be making diss records about me. All right, Elijah Bobo, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
I'm 21. I'm African American. I'm a male.
All right, talk to us.
I think interracial marriage it's a weird thing because you have 40 million African Americans and 200 million white Americans, and you kind of see like a quarter, I think, of black men interracially marrying.
Yo, they can't hear you, man. You gotta get close to your mic or something.
I said it's kind of weird because you have like race mixing is kind of like you're mixing your race kind of out. You know what I'm saying? Like you're assimilating essentially.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Yeah, when we start to view ourselves in terms of DNA and biology, it always makes the conversation really, really weird because the idea that different races have different DNA is Eurocentric and it's called eugenics. It's common sense that the earth is flat if you walk outside and look at it. But you know what? We're on the internet. A lot of y'all probably do think the earth is flat. What I'm trying to say is people, when they say it's common sense, they usually ain't got no sense. At the end of the day, eugenics is a practice of a white Nazi that told us that our DNA and we're changing our race and all this other stuff. Like we don't. Let's keep it in the social sphere. Let's keep it out of biology if we can, please.
I think I know what you're saying. Like I do think it's eugenics, but do you think that possibly like eugenics could be used against the African American population in different ways?
It was created to be used. It's been used against the African American population since it started. So I don't know why we're trying to pick it up and wield it ourselves. Every time we try to wield a weapon formed against us, it don't work out for us very well.
All right.
All right. So I'm gonna go to the next guest.
All right.
Gangsta Barbie, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
33. I'm from West Africa and I've been in United States about 16 years. And I believe it's nothing wrong with it because you connect with who you connect and you love with who you love. We don't say black and black that work out, white and white that work out, any other race. I don't believe mixing your race with somebody is a problem. No, it's more like who is that person, what the two race can. I think it's a beautiful thing, because the black culture can teach the white culture and the white culture can teach the black culture. It's always
What is
something
white culture?
you can learn about each other. That's what I believe.
What is white culture's contribution to humanity?
Far as
Fried rice?
no, I ain't saying no.
Oh,
No.
so what is white culture's contribution to humanity? Because you made it sound like the world is just a big buffet, and some culture you can take some of this white culture, mix it with the black culture, put it on a plate with some rice, and we all eating good.
Yeah,
So
what
what
I
is
mean by that
what
is
is
like, okay,
what is
I'm not
no
trying to
no no
go
no 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 no. I asked you a specific question. What is white culture's contribution to humanity?
what they may know and we may not know. Far as how come, they more advanced when it's come to life insurance, credit, things, we can go deep into a lot of just little stuff that they may know that
Did you
we,
say credit?
yes.
You said credit is
Yeah,
is is their contribute. The first credit card was invented by a black man.
I know that. But at the same time, do you know it's a lot of black people that don't know about credit because they wasn't taught when you compare to race that a lot of white people know about credit because they was taught
But
about this type of stuff.
but do you know that credit is something that's used to the detriment of black people? That's like saying do you know a lot of black people don't know about a whip across their back? Do you know a lot of black people never experienced a whip?
I
Like that's
agree
how you
with you.
sound right now. Like you're talking about the credit system is something that's been used to economically disenfranchise black people. So why would we want to know more about something that's used to keep us from having access to loans and access to owning homes and apartment buildings and businesses? Like why would that be something that was beneficial to be shared as part of sharing their culture? That's not a culture we chose to have shared with us.
Facts.
I'm just saying.
I agree.
What part of West Africa you from?
Senegal.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Best of luck with that new president, man.
Well, thank you.
He he. I was rooting for him at first, and I seen him shaking hands with Macron. I don't know how I feel now.
How you feel?
I
I
don't
mean,
know
you're
how I
allowed to
feel.
say how you feel, you know? You
Ah,
definitely
man,
allowed to say how you feel. So
he's
just go
shaking
ahead and
hands with
say it.
he's shaking hands with the colonizer. That's how I feel. Shaking hands with the devil himself.
Yeah, but sometimes you gotta shake hands just to get where you need to be. And you're right, because we just got our freedom back in the 1960s. We was colonized by the French. And I truly understand
So
that. But
so now you got to get freedom by shaking the French people that colonized you's hand.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta do what you have to do. You have to do what you gotta do to get where you need to get. I mean, you gotta leave the past where it's at in order to progress.
It ain't
Yeah,
the past if you was just freed in 1960 and
yeah.
then still in
But
neo-colonialism,
why should
and
we
now
get
they're gonna
why
turn
should we
around.
be mad about it though? It is the past. At least we're free.
No,
It
it's
could have
not.
been
It's the
worse. It
present.
could have been
You
worse
think
though.
you think the president of Senegal and Macron is gonna do an even trade? You think Macron's not gonna do what's in the best
They may
interest of
not even
France?
do that, but it's a start to just shake hands. You got to start with somewhere. And you're right. We just have our freedom back in the 1960s, but at least we're free. It's somewhere. You got
No,
to
you're
start
not.
from
No, you're
somewhere.
not. You about to how you free and you shaking the hands of the people that colonized you.
60 years ago, it's the
That ain't
past.
freedom.
I mean,
You gotta go back to the people who colonized you for freedom. That is hilarious. Yo, you can't be serious.
I'm keeping it
Oh
very
man.
serious. I'm
Oh
keeping it
man. I know
very
you're not
serious.
serious. That's crazy.
I'm keeping
Yo,
it very
that's shit.
serious. It's just like saying a lot of people shaking hands with fucking
Yo,
Donald Trump. A lot of people
yo,
shaking hands with Donald Trump. It's just like
yo.
saying that you got to do what you got to shake hands with
Nah, you
who
ain't
you
gotta
got to
shake
shake
hands
hands
with
to get
Donald
where you
Trump.
need to be.
You don't gotta shake hands with Donald Trump either. Don't try to justify it just because other people do it. Don't mean you should be backing it. That don't make no sense. You
It
can't.
do make sense. It's called respect. It's called respect. That's what it's called. It do make
So
a
you
whole
telling
lot of
me? You
sense.
telling me?
You
You
may look
telling
at
me?
it one way, but they looking at it another way.
You telling me if I take you from your home and put you in a cage, and then you want to get out of your cage, and you don't know how to get out, you gonna turn to me to free you?
Well, if I'm already free, Why would, if I'm already
You are
free, I'm
not
already
free.
free. Why would I want
Senegal
to
is
put
not free.
in my mind
If
about, oh,
Senegal
something
was
that already
free,
happened?
if
At least I'm
Senegal was
free. We
free,
got to stick to the
If
present.
Senegal was
We,
free, if Senegal was free, why are they shaking Macron's hand? Why did they need Macron? A free man don't need nobody. If you free, then of all people, why do you need to go back to the people that put you in bondage in the first place? If you free. Because you said you got to do what you got to do. The only people that got to do what they got to do to survive are people that are not free. So if you free, why do you got to do what you got to do and shaking a colonizer's hand? Explain that one to me. That just don't make sense. I'm gonna move on because I don't want this to turn into something that it don't need to be. But appreciate you coming up, Miss Barbie. I'm gonna move on because you know what I'm saying. We just gonna keep it pushing. Listen, African brothers and sisters, I know y'all got some COONs. I know y'all got some too. It's not just us African Americans. Y'all got some that's sleep in the mind. My goodness, they woke up this morning, but they ain't never woke up in their life. At the same time, Elijah, you came back up. What's going on?
I just wanted to kind of clarify what I meant by assimilation. You know how they like did the Native Americans, where they started like giving them Western education and making them speak English and bringing them into like their culture? I'm saying that interracial marriage might be like the next step in that. I'm not saying I'm trying to promote eugenics or that it's right. I'm just saying that might be like, that's like a
No, I was
conspiracy.
just trying to get. I mean, what you just said was better than what you said before, because that's what I'm trying to say. Is we can keep this on a socio-political scale. We could talk this from an economic angle. We could talk this from even a cultural angle. There's many different ways we can talk about this. When people go straight to you're washing out the DNA, the pure black blood is what we need in our children. Like when we start talking, you sound like little Hitlers. Like it don't make no sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like why we gotta go that far? We really don't. Like there's many different ways we can talk about this. You know what I'm saying?
Can I ask you what your opinion is?
On what?
Interracial marriages, do you think they're problematic or do you think they're okay?
Did you hear how I was just talking with that last sister about how her president is shaking hands with the same president that is the same president of the country that colonized her country?
Yeah. So you think
So,
it's wrong for
so
political reasons?
I'm sorry.
You think it's wrong for political reasons?
There's many reasons it's wrong, but at the same time, I'm not up here to judge right and wrong. I'm up here to judge constructive and non-constructive because my people are in oppression. So if a man is in a furnace, right, and he's in a fiery furnace, if he sits there and does nothing, he's just gonna burn to a crisp. That man wants to scratch his behind. He has every right to do that. I can't stop him. But can I say it's wrong? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't even be able to say it's wrong. If you want to scratch your butt, a man has a freedom to do whatever you want to do in a fiery furnace. However, there is certain actions that that man could take, such as walking out of the furnace, stepping out of the fire that's burning his behind, and that would be a constructive thing for him to do to putting himself in a safer environment. What I'm saying is anti-blackness and what racism, white supremacy is a hostile environment that if we do nothing, it will continue to burn and eat at our population. And there are certain things we can do that are constructive and certain things that are not constructive. Interracial relationships are not constructive. Turning to the same people that put you in bondage to find love is not constructive.
All right.
Okay.
They ain't ready for this conversation.
Nobody's ready tonight. I don't know if y'all heard my wife. She said nobody ready for this conversation. Ain't nobody ready tonight. I don't know what's going on. Ain't nobody ready. Y'all must have been taking a nap.
Well, I think that
Well, Elijah's a little ready. Go ahead, Elijah.
I think the history of why like, because like white men always have this thing where they're like, we must protect the Aryan woman, so on and so forth. It's like, I think that goes back to the Barbary slave trade, because there's this thing called the Mann Act, White Slave Traffic Act, it was
It
also
was
called in the United
nah,
States.
nah. It was never white slavery.
Well, they
There
say
was never white slavery. There were people that we would now call white that were enslaved, but it was never white slavery.
yeah,
When we talk about chattel slavery in America, we're talking about black slavery. We're talking about just the fact that you was black meant that you was born a slave. There was never a time where a white person was just born out of womb and that person was instantly deemed property. They were criminals and people that owed debts that would be captured and taken to the Mediterranean, Middle East, and North Africa. So that's a completely different scenario.
I understand, because they weren't enslaved because they were white, they just happened to be white and slave.
Exactly, because at that time, there was no such, well, at the beginning of that whole thing, there was no unified concept of race. Race was something that was created by Europeans. So we got to remember that, even anti blackness is a theme that we saw 6,500 years ago.
Yeah.
Before the idea of race, there was anti-blackness and a disdain for, or what we call Afrophobia. There was Afrophobia before the idea of race came about. But race put it into a system concept or a global system of domination and control over all non-white people by white people.
I agree. I think that's why they feel like I think that's where the tension comes from. That's what they blame it on, is the Barbary slave trade. Like, just
Yeah,
for
but
historical purposes. Like, I know
yeah.
it might not be right, but that's like their reasoning.
Nah, that's not their reason. Their reason is a fear of a world that won't look like them someday. They call it the browning of America. They know that one day it is very likely that there will be no more white tea people. They say blue eyes and blonde hair people are going extinct right now. And they're also saying that the birth rates have already flipped negative in white countries. France went 5 months without one child being born. There's a fear that one day humanity will return back from the lie. Race is a lie. Race is not true. We all human. There ain't no such. The race is made up, and they procreate based on this lie to try to keep whiteness going. However, the natural default state of humanity is black. For 2/3 of human history, everyone lived in Africa. And up until 6,000 years ago, up until 6,000 years ago, there was no white phenotype. That didn't present itself until 6,000 years ago. And so basically, what you see them reacting to, the reason they had to systemize anti blackness was because they're afraid that their recessive physical traits, physical attributes would be no more represented in their population if they were to just let everyone love each other and get it on. So the enemy of love is hate. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna drop down again. I just came up quickly. And I know y'all are American and we speak more of America here, but I just came up because of the invention of race. Because you guys touched on it a bit. So I just want to say quickly, it was in the 1450s and the...
Are you a white woman?
No.
All right, we usually let people introduce themselves first. What's your race and color?
Sorry, it's because I've been here before. So 31, black, and she, her.
All right, talk to us.
Yeah, so I just came up. I'll do this. Not white.
Okay.
um,
Thank
I
you,
just
Black Jesus. All right, go ahead.
for real. I just came because you guys spoke about race, and this is something I learned, especially with how racism looks over in Europe, and that it's more of a gaslighting and under the surface type of way that I would deny that it was racism here, and I'm very appreciative for this app because of the knowledge I get right now. So and how comfortable I am with my blackness now, just compared to a few months ago. But I haven't read the journal yet, but we actually do have a name for the man who invented blackness, and in so also invented whiteness. And it was a Portuguese man called Surara. Surara, yeah. So because he was speaking about it a bit before, that's why I just came up.
Okay, that's interesting. Could you DM me that name, please?
Absolutely. I'll send you even a link. I'll send you on Discord because I'm in the
Oh, you in the
Discord channel.
Discord? Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
you
send it to
can.
you. Yeah, because it was very interesting for me to actually have a name even where we can see from the man who literally invented blackness and whiteness.
Yeah, I would like to talk more on that, so I'll do my research.
Same. I'm gonna read the journal because he has a journal that's published. So
Please put your findings in the Discord. The brothers and sisters need to know. Y'all can't
right,
keep all the good information to yourself. There's 900 people
I find this out from actually it was a white woman on a deconstruction live here who said the name, and I was like, I should know this.
That's why we ask them questions. If you notice on my lives, whenever they come up, I ask questions because they know their history. They know what they need to know, and sometimes they talk
really
about
important
it
here.
when none of us are in the room. But we need to hear what
We
they
need more
really
light skins
about.
around, man.
Oh
we need more light skins. That's what's the
Mohammed,
problem.
are you okay?
Yo, I'm getting a lot of them tonight. I don't know what's up.
It's because of the whole. First of all, it's summer break, so we get the kids up in here.
Oh.
It hit me the other day, and then also it's the election debate thing. But it's the summer break. I'm telling you, because something is going on lately. No, but this white woman, is actually a white woman that is deconstructing, and she found a way. She learned like the true history. I don't know what book she read. I need to ask her that. But she gave me the name, and then now I hear it from some people on the app, and I am Portuguese as well. So I'm conflicted. I'm part of both. But I do know that the Portuguese were doing chattel slavery for about like 200 years before the rest of Europe. And then we're speaking about like 200 more years or 100 more years since the first slave touched America. So that's a long time before. And to actually have the name of the man who invented it, and that he has a journal that you can write is very interesting to me. So I'm trying to find, but I'll share it on the Discord. Absolutely.
Yeah, I encourage everybody, just whatever findings you have, it just helps other brothers and sisters decolonize as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'll share it straight away. I'm excited as well. I mean, excited. It's horrible, but like excited to actually read from.
It's empowering, sister.
Yeah, and to read from the man, and hear, kind of be in his brain. I'm excited to do that.
Yeah. It's empowering.
I'll share it right now. I'm gonna drop because it's 4 a.m. here. I need to go to bed. But I heard the conversation, so I had to.
All right, thank you, family.
Thank you.
Right, y'all. The Discord is in my bio. The link is in my bio. Go on my page. It's b1initiative.org. You click that link. It'll take you to our nonprofit website, and then as soon as you click it, there's a Discord link. It'll say it's a button that just says Discord. You click there. It'll take you to our Discord with over 900 Pan-Africans worldwide, all coming together to build Sankofapedia. Sankofapedia is an Afrocentric online encyclopedia that's going to be built from an Afrocentric world perspective, built by African people in the United States and abroad. African people, Black people, we making our own history book. All right, I'm going to go to the next guest, American Wool. Give us your age, race, and pronouns.
Yeah, I'm 33, Black, and a he.
All right, talk to me.
Yeah, so y'all heard of that name, Gomez de Urarara. Yeah, he was Portuguese. But from my understanding in America it's a bit different because in America race was invented in Virginia. I think in 1676. Um during the Bacon's Rebellion when both white people and black people were indentured servants and they didn't like the mistreatment they were going through. Um at that time, pretty much black people and white people were involved with one another, lived among one another in peace. A lot of people don't know this. Had children with one another, treated each other as equal. But after during the Bacon's Rebellion, um, what had happened was they was about to rise up against the government. So what they then started to do, this is when race started to breed itself in America in 1676 when they started describing people by their ethnic origin, like African people as African black Americans as black and white people as white. But the problem with that was black people got the short end of the stick because they it was at that point they declared black people hereditarily slaves forever. So that's the first time, race started to become a thing in America, and that was basically the invention of white tea in this country and black, and it was based on social statuses. So
Real quick, then let me ask you a question. So, if they were living together in peace, are you saying that the African or black people that came here sailed their own ships to get here?
no, of course not.
So, how did they get here?
They got here by white people, yeah. But
Was it
that's not the point I'm trying to that's not the
was
point
it
I'm trying to
no? But you said in peace, bro. You said in peace. So, were they forced on these ships, or was there peaceful ships?
well, it was forced on ships, yeah.
Okay, so that's not peaceful.
Yeah. I was talking about the white tea indentured servants and the black indentured servants. I'm not talking about the overall society of white tea people and black people. I'm talking about like, both black people and
Black
white tea people who was subjected to indentured servitude.
indentured
But
servitude.
yeah, like
What black people? What
if
black
you look up
people?
in Virginia, because at one time slavery was at one time in this country, slavery was not a lifetime. And,
You,
and
you,
Dr. Claude Anderson, you ever heard of Dr. Claude Anderson?
no, wait. One
Black.
second, one second, one second. Because again, I'm European, right? I also come. A lot of my heritage is from Cape Verde, which was
Mm-hmm.
actually Columbus by Portuguese people and uninhabited, and they took people from West Africa, and it was made a hub for transatlantic slave trade. Because of their position, right? And this was way before they came to America. But a lot of the American ancestors, the black ancestors in America, actually passed through that country, right? When they were put in the boat, they were not indentured. No, sorry. Yes, indentured servitudes. Yes, the English word. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were slaves. They were not viewed even as animals were on a higher list than us, right? So they were already viewed as cattle, but less than cow cattle, right?
Mhm.
They were already things that were properties. There was no you can work back and get your life. None of that when they were taken and put into America. So that's why I mentioned the man's name, Guerrero Gomez. I forget his name all the time, because he invented blackness. That was way before America. That was to justify chattel slavery. That is how race came to be.
Mm. Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I partially learned this. Have you ever heard of Dr. Claude Anderson?
Yes, he's a quack.
Yeah. He
He's
talked
he's
about this.
he's
Um,
SBA type of nonsense. He's a confusing person. Sometimes he talk out of both sides of his mouth. But a lot of his stuff is refuted by the Pan African scholars that were his precursor, whatever, the people that came before him. I'm a Garveyite, so I stick to what I know about Africa and what has been taught by our ancestors. Claude Anderson kind of made up his own rules with things.
right.
American Wool, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just mentioned a man's name, and I mentioned this is the man that invented blackness, by doing so invented whiteness, right? And that he has a journal speaking about when he was inventing it, a journal he wrote himself. So, what is the dispute really here? I'm asking not in a condescending way. I'm just asking because I don't really understand how then we're gonna say it was made up in Virginia 200 years later.
Well, what you're talking about is something that happened by a Portuguese man.
White man
Right. Did this happen in America or outside of America?
outside of America. America was not even
Exactly.
America. It was not the
Exactly.
United States
That's the
when
point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, okay, but race and slavery was already invented and very much functioning and
Yeah, but
existing.
I'm talking about in America in general. In
Nah,
Virginia in 16,
but she's talking about geographical America and and how they were in what we now call the United States, but it wasn't the United States until 1776. So that was much later
Yeah.
on, but it was British colonies.
Actually, it happened outside of America.
right.
Racism was
Well, no, I know
invented.
you're talking about racism, but he's saying he's using your basis to say that
Oh,
he's
in America.
talking about, yeah, in the
All
United
right.
States, but even in the
Yeah.
United States,
Cool.
that timeline doesn't add up.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't the
Yeah.
USA by that time.
It was
Plus,
from my
again,
understanding that in 1676, after the Bacon's Rebellion, that's when the invention in America came whiteness and blackness in America, which was a social status that was created in America,
that's
based on
classism.
American
It
principles.
was created
That's
in
what I'm going
it
on.
was created in England because again, America by your timeline did not exist yet.
Uh,
This was British people.
Actually, no, it was a Portuguese man, so it wasn't even British
Right.
people.
No. All right, we're not talking about. He's talking about. We're not talking about that. We're talking about.
Oh, in
We're
America.
not talking about the pinpointing the exact origin worldwide of racism. He's talking
In
about
America.
when it hit the shores of the New England.
Oh, okay, cool. So in Americas, before it was the United
Yeah.
States.
All right. Yeah. Before it was the United
Yeah.
States.
Right,
Right.
cool. But if race was invented in the 1450s by this man, that means that blackness and whiteness came to America the moment, actually even before the moment of black slaves touching soil in Americas. It means that it happened
Right.
when that spread to the white people that were colonizing in America. So
Right.
1450s was when
There
it was
was an
invented.
acknowledgement of differences, but
No.
based on what I've read about the Bacon's Rebellion, that's when those classifications took place
Okay, yeah.
within America,
I get
within
you.
the landmass.
Please just remember, because it's something I have to remind myself that those things that you're reading, a lot of them are whitewashed. Okay, and I'm not, again, not condescending. I have to remind myself of that. But if we know that race was invented in 1450s, that means that in America, it was also Americas. It was also invented in 1450s. You know.
Right. But again, after the Bacon's Rebellion, that's when they came up with those classifications on the landmass. Before
Yeah,
that,
because
we
before
wasn't
that, you was called a Negro, and
exactly
before that, you was called something else. But it was always
Blackness
at
and
the end of
whiteness.
the day,
right.
they had different names, but that don't mean that racism didn't exist. And that's what she trying to say is it was already in
I'm not
motion.
saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that racism within itself didn't exist. Of course, it existed. But what I'm saying
You
is,
said they were living in peace and having racism at the same time. That's like saying me and you can have peace with bullets flying over our heads. That don't
Also,
mean
maybe I
this
should have worded. Maybe I should have worded it a different way. I'm talking about the white
blackness and
indigenous
whiteness.
and black indigenous. I'm talking about the people like the whitey people and the black people who's
when
been
you call our ancestors indentured servants, you are
Yeah.
miscategorizing them
Mm.
because you're putting them in the same level as, for example, the Irish indentured servants that served the crown. You understand? Like if they came here on the same ships as the colonizers, they were indentured servants. We came
right.
on the ships meant for products and materials. Like they saw us as non-humans. So
And
we
this
weren't
they
indentured servants. We were seen as chattel. But
cargo.
at the beginning in 1619, if you were a Christian, you could be set free if you claimed to be born again, and you would live somewhat of a less hostile life. You wouldn't be a chattel slave. However, at the same time, there was still racism, and there was always the chance that someone could nab you or your children up and take you to a plantation, and no one would know the difference between you and a slave. And no one would question you either. But at the end of the day, it didn't become more radicalized until the 18th century. I know that, as far as black and white as we know it today, it became like codified with the laws in Virginia that said if you have a black mother, you're black and you can be considered born into slavery. But if you had a white mother, you weren't. I forget what year that was, though. I'm not sure if that was 1676 or I thought it was earlier than that, but I thought it was earlier than that, but I don't
I,
know.
I I maybe say that it was invented and it was well known since 1450s, probably a bit before that, to be honest, if I look at the history of my country. So, because that happened a bit earlier. So, let's say though 1450s, maybe it was actually hacked into stone in the 1600s in Americas, which
Yeah,
is
just in the United States, but it was still acted on. It was still acted on like it
since
was still a thing. It just wasn't codified into law until a little bit later on, and I think that's what he's going to keep trying to
yeah.
hang on. And I do know about that. I looked it up. I forgot. It was a Harvard study that brought it up that I learned it from. But yeah.
Yeah, no one had the actual gall and BALLS before that point to actually write it into law. At least people tried to be a little bit, but it was blackness and whiteness was invented in 1450s.
Right.
Right. All right,
Okay.
y'all.
All right. No problem.
All right, we got to the bottom of that. I'm gonna go to sleep. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna go to sleep.
There.
I got work
Thank you.
tomorrow. I appreciate you coming up, sister. Please don't forget
Of
to
course.
drop that
I will,
that
I will
information
straight
for us.
away before I sleep.
All right, all right. One love. Peace, y'all. I'm out. It was a good conversation. We talked about patriarchy. We talked about a lot of different things tonight. Um, I'm gonna go bye-bye, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Black laws for black people, for black liberation everywhere. Ubuntu, you know what I'm saying? Ashe to the ancestors. The Congolese Liberation Day is coming up, right? Congo Liberation Day is coming up, right? Am I tripping? Congo Liberation, which is wild. It's even wild to even call it that. Congo Independence Day. Because they still ain't liberated. You know what I'm saying? But free Congo, free Haiti, free Sudan, free Kenya. Ruto must go. Rudo must go to Kenyans. Museveni must go too, and so does Tinubu. Tinubu gotta go. You know what I'm saying? The canal has been finished. We were saying Canal La Pop come pay, but now we just saying Viva Haiti. And we'll talk to y'all tomorrow. One love. Black Power.